Hello everyone! So before I begin this video, I just want to give a couple of words just saying that my heart, my thoughts, my prayers are with Kim Jonghyun's family and friends and all the people who have been affected by his death. I'm not gonna say I was a huge SHINee fan from the beginning or anything like that, but I have really enjoyed them and their music for the past couple of years, and Kim Jonghyun was definitely the member who always stood out as being such a beautiful, happy person, and it just goes to show literally anyone can be suffering. And I will be linking the USA and Korean hotlines for suicide down below, just for anyone who might need them. We lost an absolutely beautiful person today, and my thoughts and everything are with people who are affected. I woke up to so many texts and Snapchats and things from people, and I literally couldn't believe it. It was one of those moments that I woke up and I thought it was a cruel joke that all my friends were sending me these things. So I don't think I can say any more on the topic, but just anyone who has been affected, I feel so much for everything that's been happening. Getting away from like that sort of grim topic, obviously, today I figured that I would do a book chat video. I haven't done one of these in a hot minute, and these are some of my favorite videos to film, so I figured I would do one. I haven't gotten to do one of these since the summer, because when I'm at school I usually don't film them that often just because they're more casual videos, and when I finally get a chance to actually sit down and film, I like to do like real serious book videos and stuff like that. But I figured I would just do a quick casual little book chat, and let's get real, I just said quick, but these are never quick. So today I'm going to be talking about annotating books, which is such a big topic. I feel like it's one that is almost taboo, which is super weird. I feel like it's commonplace in the book community for everyone to feel the same about books and being like, so many people in the book community, you know, they only buy brand new hardcover books, they keep them in perfect, pristine condition, never break the spine, never really touch them, they don't look red. And I've really never been one of those people. Like, yeah, it's cool getting a brand new book, but wow, I can't afford brand new hardcovers very often. So I already buy a lot of my books used, and I know that probably is so crazy to certain people, that I would say 95% of my books I buy are used. Sometimes they look really nice, but most of them are used from thrift books or local used bookstores and stuff like that. I very rarely will buy a book if it's over like $5. I have never been in the train of like keeping my books pristine, because when I buy them they're not pristine. And like a little bit ago I came out and it was like, I'm not a person who really cares about using bookmarks. Like, I never really used bookmarks before I was on BookTube, and then I was like, oh my god, I have to use a bookmark because everyone is like, you can't dog-ear your books and stuff like that. And I went back to just dog-earing my books like a year or two ago, and people get so angry about it. It's so funny. But today I have decided to talk about annotating books, because recently I've discovered I freaking love annotating books. I think this is probably something that I've always probably known in the back of my head, but I never came to terms with. I've always been a person who, when I'm reading, I'll dog-ear the top page of a book to say like, it has a quote on it that I want, and at the very end of the book, when I finish it and close it, I'll go back to all the dog ears and put little tabs in the book. And that was my version of annotating, because yeah, dog-earing the page doesn't do much, and then I put a tab in, but I never really highlighted and stuff like that except for my school books. This year I am taking a Shakespeare class, and I had to read a bunch of books. There's more than this, but in these books I had to do a lot of annotating just to be able to keep up in the class kind of thing. You know, annotations in this can go from like writing in the margins and like kind of reminding myself what we've discussed. It can just be like, you know, a quick highlighting of an entire page. Let me see, there's a couple where I like define words or like look at themes. So like in Hamlet we have the to be or not to be speech or soliloquy, and in it I use color coordinating, yeah, color coordinating and I have notes and I have highlighting, and it goes on to like a whole bunch of stuff. And obviously this was more just to keep my thoughts and notes all together in the book, because I'm not a big fan of like, you know, copying down the quote into a notebook. I know a lot of people do that, and then like they'll write just so they don't have to write in the books. Like, that's so hard. I literally will just highlight a passage and then I can write all my thoughts right there on the passage. Like, that is how I've always liked to do school books. And obviously with this many quotes that I needed to know, this was very, very necessary. But this semester was the first one that I kind of actively noticed that I was enjoying this so much. I really like as weird as this probably sounds, I like the aesthetic of like a really used, worn, written in piece of literature. I think it is so interesting flipping through this book. I think it's so like aesthetically pleasing flipping through and seeing all of this writing and highlights and stuff, and like I just find it very interesting to just be able to flip into this book and find a passage that I basically ripped apart on the page. And I was like, why don't I do this with my actual books? Like, why do I only do this with school books? Because I feel like one of the reasons that I enjoy school books, which a lot of people don't, is because I do this, is because I like really go in depth in my annotating and my note taking inside of the books. And I was like, I wonder if I would really enjoy doing that in actual books. So I kind of decided that I'm doing a Wind Up Bird reread with my friend Haley, and I was like, you know what, I think I'm going to annotate the Wind Up Bird Chronicle when I do my reread. I think that's gonna be so fun. But I honestly couldn't wait. I really wanted to try annotating a book, so I decided to start doing it. So I am currently reading and annotating The Confederacy of Dunces by John Kennedy Toole, and I am so excited. It's like annotating is like making a book your own. Literally just like flipping through each like part of this. When, like, let's say this becomes one of my favorite books. Let's just say I am really enjoying it. What if this becomes one of my favorite books? In the future, when I'm rereading it, I'm gonna have all of my initial notes that I put in this book, literally wrote in and put in this book. And I've been doing kind of a combination of literally like highlighting and writing on the page, but also doing sticky notes. So like there's like this, which has highlighting and writing right in the margin and on the page. But then I also have sticky notes for like longer things that I wanted to write about. And I've been enjoying it so much, and it's like I just highlight and do things on things that I want to do. Like, I see a lot of people doing almost like school books, kind of like, you know, highlighting important things, or highlighting character development, or highlighting plot development and stuff, and I've literally just been highlighting and doing things that I enjoy or like think are interesting. I've also been learning so much vocabulary, and literally like there was one part, or let me see, like here, there were like 3 words on between these 2 pages where I had to literally circle them and look them up, which I pride myself on the fact that I have a very big vocabulary. And I literally, at the bottom, I was like, Ignatius uses such big and advanced words, but also acts like a child. Is he even using these words correctly, or is he actually smart? And, like, I don't know, I find it so fun. And yeah, I've just been kind of highlighting as I go and, like, doing things. Like, this is the first page, and I highlighted the top and was like, best character description ever. Or, like, this quote down here is just one I thought was pretty. Their pleats and nooks contain pockets of warm, stale air that soothed Ignatius. I just thought that was pretty. Or like, up here, I literally am just like putting my thoughts as I go. And like, no, it's not on every single page, like 2-page spreads, some are just like completely blank, but I've been really, really enjoying myself, and I also feel like I'm really retaining the information that I'm reading, because I feel like I'm such a fast reader. I can fly through a book within a couple of hours. Like, if I had just sat down and read this is about a 400-page book, I could probably finish it in 4 or 5 hours. But it took me, I'm only on page, let's see, I'm on page 70, and I read this for like 2 hours at work, and it really made me slow down and really made me think about what I was reading. And I loved that. I haven't really like done that with a book for pleasure in quite a long time. I am always just like, oh, I need to fly through this and get it done. And it's like, no, like reading should be such an enjoyable, slow, personal experience. And this kind of leads me into the fact that I am really enjoying annotating because, like I said before, I feel like annotating makes it your book. This is a used copy of a book. Yes, it is in very nice condition, I must say. But I have no idea who this belonged to begin with. I have no clue who read this before me, or if they even did read it. Because again, it's in pretty nice condition. Because there's nothing in it. Like, I don't know if I would actually be allowed to, but like if, let's say I decided to get rid of this book, whoever got it next would know exactly who was reading it. Maybe they wouldn't know my name, but they'd know exactly my thoughts as I was reading it. Or like, let's say I love this book and I decide, oh mom, I think you'll really like this, and I give it to her. It's like I'll be reading it with her. Like, she'll know my exact thoughts as I was reading this book for the first time. And I find that, like, so warming, because, like, yeah, she could go and get her own copy of this book and read it, and it'll be her experience, but her reading my copy, my book, my copy, means that she's gonna experience it, my experience too, and that's just so interesting to me. Recently I have become, like, I want to say a minimalist person, but really that's not correct at all. But I did over the summer, I will link it somewhere on the screen or down below, I decided to get rid of almost all of my books, and I kept only books that I really loved. 4 or 5 stars, favorites, stuff like that. And I've definitely become a person who I really only want to own books that I love. And now I'm kind of like, I really only want to own books that are like mine. I want to own books that I have left my mark in. And no, I don't think I'll be able to go through and reread every single book that I have on my shelves currently and annotate them, but I think I might go through and do that for quite a few of my favorites, just because I want them to be mine. Like, I feel like these books that I'm annotating and making mine, like, no matter where I go, they're gonna come with me. Like, if I move, like, I'm planning on being a teacher in Korea, like, I can't take that many books with me. But I think the ones I would take are these ones that are mine. Like, they're my books. I read them, I annotated them, I left my mark in them, I can't leave them behind. Like, that kind of thing. And yeah, of course, there's sometimes annotated books that I don't really like that much. Like, Othello. I don't like Othello that much. I'm just not a big fan of it. I don't find it that interesting. But like, yeah, it's annotated. It's my book. I'd still probably keep this. Not gonna lie, I don't think I'd be able to get rid of it, but it's my copy of Othello. It's mine. So like, I'm annotating this currently, and if I end up hating it, doesn't matter, it's mine. It's my copy. I feel like, I think Ariel Bissett talked about this at one point, or maybe it was Lala. I can't really remember anymore. I might try to find the video. If I do, I'll link it somewhere. But someone said how, like, let's say 100 years from now, someone finds your library. It wouldn't be as cool or as big of a deal if every single one of your books is perfect and pristine and perfectly on the shelf in perfect condition and perfect. I feel like it just wouldn't be as big of a deal. Like, if I, like, found my mom's library, like, she has quite a few books from her childhood. If every single book was just perfectly on the shelf, it's like walking into a bookstore. It's not like walking into my mom's personal library. My mom's books are totally beaten up because she read them so many times when she was a kid. And I think it's beautiful. I think annotating and, like, almost destroying a book is kind of a beautiful thing. Like, why do people keep their books in such pristine condition? What are you gonna do with them? You might say, I'm gonna sell them off. Then why do you have them? Why do you want to keep them perfect? I'm actually genuinely curious, because I don't think I've ever been a person who wants to keep my books perfect. Even when I was a kid, I would just absolutely destroy books. I actually really liked getting a brand new book so that I could bend and crack the spine. Like, I loved doing that. All of my books from when I was a kid are destroyed. A lot of them don't have dust jackets at their hardcovers, and all of them have broken spines. But yeah, I feel like I've fallen in love a little bit more with the idea of, like, this is my book. This is my book. I can do what I want with it. No one's gonna do anything about it. It's mine. I can do what I want. And yeah, no, I probably won't annotate and do this for every single book I read. No, that's unrealistic. Because yeah, this is taking me a very long time. But I do think I want to have a library of my books. I just think that'd be so beautiful. Yeah. But anyways, that is my video about annotating books. I hope you guys all enjoyed this, and definitely leave down in the comments what your opinions are on this, because I feel like this is definitely a very polarizing conversation. I feel like there are people who love annotating books and love the feel of like a used book. And then there are the people who buy every single book new. And I would actually like to hear, like, genuinely why you are on whatever side you're on. But yeah, I hope you guys all enjoyed this video, and I love you all, and I'll see y'all soon. Bye!